Hello everyone, and welcome to your Money Q&A question of the day. I'm your host Stacy Johnson, and this answer is brought to you by MoneyTalksNews.com, serving up the best in personal finance news and advice since 1991. Let's get right to our question. It comes to us from Alan. Alan says, my wife and I shared a checking account for over 30 years. We had a recent change in our income and have been reworking our budget. One idea we're tossing around is for my wife to have a separate checking account where she gets a monthly transfer from our primary account. Then she pays and shops for things with her side of the budget, or on her side of the budget. Do you think that's useful and wise? Well, welcome, Alan, to one of the biggest questions fought daily in the personal finance trenches. This is something a lot of people have different opinions on. I'll start by telling you what I do. My wife and I have completely separate accounts. We don't mingle anything at all. We got married relatively late, and so we both are used to managing our own money. And she makes a decent income. We divide up the bills, and so we keep everything separately. A lot of people, though, have a joint account. It works just fine for them. Look at the advantages of each one. When you have a joint account, it's easier to get a snapshot of your money, right? It's also harder to keep money secrets, which can be a problem for some couples. And if something should happen to one of you, you become incapacitated, the other one can then access all the family funds, so you don't have a problem that way. Now, having separate accounts has its own advantages, though. Probably fewer fights about money. You get, like I just said, some people are used to managing their own money and feel a little put upon, when they have to start explaining what they're doing to their spouse. So those are advantages of having separate accounts. And the answer is, as far as what you should do, well, first of all, realize that there's not just two choices. There's not just joint accounts and separate accounts. You could each have a separate account and have a joint account. And I think that's maybe what Alan was talking about doing, having a joint account, but then having a separate account for his spouse. You can also have separate accounts, but have both names on both of them. So that way, I may never see my wife's account, but my name's on it in case something happens to her. I can get to the money if I need to. And you can also just try doing different things to see what works for you better. But what I advise you not to do is look at some guy's opinion or some girl's opinion or some person's opinion and say, this is the way it's supposed to be. It has to be separate. And I've seen that before too. I've seen websites that say, if you love each other, if you trust each other, you'll have a joint account. Hogwash. You have whatever works for you and experiment until you find what does. That's my advice. Okay, guys, that's what I have for today. And we're going to close with our quote of the day. This comes from Craig Ferguson, the comedian and television host. And he says this: it's easier to feel a little more spiritual with a couple of bucks in your pocket. That's probably true. Hey, guys, make it a super profitable day today. And meet me right here next time.